Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ground and Pound Podcast Dog of the Week video. And as always, this video is designed to give you my favorite betting underdog on the entire UFC Winnipeg card. Burns taking on Malott in the main event. And if you've been tailing, you've been cashing, because we've hit 3 straight underdog picks in a row, looking to make it 4 this week. We've cashed with Yusuf Belgari. We've cashed with Money Moicano. And last week we were able to cash with Cub Swanson. And this week's Dog of the Week is going to be That's right, people. We're going with the over 2.5 rounds here in the main event of UFC Winnipeg. And if you're enjoying the content, hit that like and subscribe button, as we're going to attack this dog play to look to make it 4 in a row here for Dog of the Week. And I got to be honest, there's no real underdog that I like on this card. I don't trust Tanner Boser here after a layoff fighting scrubs. And I think his opponent is on his level. That's an absolute coin flip. I don't trust Kyler Phillips in the co-main event because he can get tired and gas out early from all of his movement. And I think this is a reasonably safe play that a lot of people are overlooking here. I think the narrative around this fight is that Malott is going to come in and finish the chinny Burns at 40 years old. But if you really dive into this one and look a little bit deeper, this is at welterweight. Burns at welterweight is a different animal than what he is at 155 at lightweight. And let's look at his previous matchups. People are going to point to his last performance against Michael Morales and look and see he got chinned and knocked out early in round 1. Michael Morales is about to fight for a title. He's very explosive. He just knocked out Sean Brady as well, and he's very explosive with the hands. Burns has to cut weight to get to 155. Yes, I do think that his chin has maybe passed him, but if he doesn't have to cut that weight, he can take a punch much better at 170, which is where this fight's going to take place. And if you look at that Khamzat Chimaev fight at 170, he could really take a punch from a hard-hitting Khamzat Chimaev. He was able to go the distance there. And I don't think that Mike Malott is this great finisher that everybody talks about. If you look at most of his fights, he is going the distance with Kevin Holland. He was able to obviously finish Chuck Buffalo, but these are the lower echelon guys in the division. Burns is still fighting the who's who. All of his 4 recent losses have all come against top 3, top 5 guys. Sean Brady, Jack Della Maddalena, Bilal Muhammad, the former champ. We need to factor this in when we're, handicapping these fights. And I think we're going to see this one get over the 2.5 round mark here. And even in most of Mike Malott's fights, he's not necessarily finishing anybody that's got any credentials inside the UFC. So this fight to get over 2.5 rounds here at plus 100, I think it's very viable. I think it's very live. And I think we could see this one get all the way to the judges' scorecards here, in my opinion. And I think if you look at Mike Malott, he does start off very slow. He was rocked in his previous fight against Kevin Holland. And I think he's shown toughness to be able to come back, even in some of his losses. When you talk about the Neil Magny loss that he had the meltdown in round 3, that still got over 2.5 rounds. This is a 5-round main event. He's going to want to pace himself. He's in there with a legend, a guy that's, very formidable in this division. And I think he's going to take his time here. And in order for this one to get over that 2.5 round mark, both guys for the key to victory here is going to have to be defensively sound. I don't think either one of these guys is going to want to rush in. Mike Malott's known to what happened when he has tried to rush in the past. He has been caught in the past by Kevin Holland. Obviously, he's going to want to learn from that here in front of his home country. Obviously, Burns coming off of multiple losses in a row, getting chinned in his last fight. He wants to be defensively sound here. That's going to be a key to victory to get this one over 2.5. I think both guys could mix in some grappling here. That would be a good opportunity for both of them to kind of not necessarily stall out and get over the 2.5, but keep things, keep their opponent guessing here. We could see some wrestling, which is going to make it go over that 2.5 round mark. Both guys, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, very credentialed on the ground, but I think a lot of clinching and a lot of grappling here will get us over that 2.5. And for both guys, it's important for them to stay patient. This is a 5-round fight. Both guys don't need to come in here and try and swing for the fences and get wild. I think this is going to be a very technical main event. I think both guys have a lot in order to fight for. Mike Malott wants to prove and get a decent name under his belt, and Burns wants to get back in the win column here, hence the move to 170. Let me know in the comment section below if you're deciding to tail or fade this week. Looking to make it 4 underdog plays in a row here. The over 2.5 is what I'm going with, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.